So let's talk about Mazi Smith. It's being reported that it looks like he gained some weight. He looks like he's at around 310 from what's being reported. He finished the season last year at around 293. So it is good to see that Mazi Smith has put on some weight. I am a bit concerned that he hasn't really been able to work out with that shoulder. So that's something to pay attention to. But, I would also like to see Mazi Smith put on about 20, 30 more pounds. That's not going to be the case come the start of the season. I don't see that being the case, him weighing around 330, 340. I don't think that's going to happen. But I'll tell you this. Mazi Smith can be decent. This defense is going to be incredible. Because if Mazi Smith can at the very least be decent, where is the holes on this defense? The defensive line looks really damn good if that's the case. Yeah, sure, they need to be better with their depth at that spot. Linebackers, I think I'm very high on their linebackers. The guys in the secondary at corner and safety, you're deep there. Personnel-wise, this defense is going to be set. And they're going to have a lot of guys that can fill a lot of different roles for this defense, along with a defensive coordinator in Mike Zimmer, who I think is going to do a very good job scheming things up and making things harder for opposing offenses just based on scheme to go along with great personnel on this defense. So him taking that next step is going to be big for this Cowboys team. Now, am I sitting here guaranteeing that he's going to take that next step? I'm not guaranteeing that whatsoever. But I'll tell you this. I do think Mazi Smith will be better this season than he was last year. I don't think that's a hot take at all. Now, I would still love if the Cowboys went out there and got a Linval Joseph. Just go get depth at that position. Because again, if you can get an average player at that position, your defense is going to be really damn good. Because here's the thing, right? What are you asking Mazi Smith to do? You're asking him to eat up blocks, be a good player against the run. And here's the thing as well. When it comes to defending the run, you're going to be better in that spot because you have linebackers who are actually linebackers. You don't have a Damone Clark playing Mike linebacker who's not a Mike linebacker. You don't have Marquise Bell playing linebacker who's not even a linebacker. You have Eric Kendricks. You have DeMarvion Overshone. You have Damone Clark in his actual position. You have Maris Leofau. We'll see if one of these other linebackers step up and are, somebody that we need to pay attention to. But you're much better at linebacker this year. So because of that, if you can get better play out of Mazi Smith or just an average one technique in general, you're going to defend the run very well. Especially when you look at the edges here. We'll talk about the edges a little bit, maybe in a later episode. But, today I want to more so talk about the defensive line. I'm a little higher on this defensive line than a lot of people are because I understand the value of what they have at the edge there with Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence if they decide to play Micah Parsons more at the edge this upcoming season. I already talked about Micah Parsons this episode to where, Micah Parsons was playing some off-ball linebacker. But yeah, I'm a little higher on this defensive line than most people. Like when you look around the NFC East, I don't think it's crazy to say that the Cowboys have the best or second best defensive line in football. Or not football, I'm sorry, the NFC East. Because I think the Giants, their defensive line's incredible with Burns, Lawrence, and Thibodeau's a little bit overrated, but that's still a very formidable defensive line. And then you have Dallas with Osa, Micah Parsons, and Lawrence. And if you can get good play from your one technique spot, that's going to completely unlock this defense. So am I sitting here guaranteeing you guys that Mazi Smith is going to improve to this degree that, now he's an impact player? I'm not saying that whatsoever. But do I believe he can improve to the point where he's a decent player? I do believe that.